Hello, my dolls. How are you beautiful ladies doing today? If this is your first time here, welcome. And thank you so much for being here. But if you're a returning doll, thank you so much once again, doll, for coming back. Oh my god, dolls, I am super duper excited for this topic. This is the art of seduction. This is how you can use your feminine charms to attract your partner or to keep that interest that he already has towards you. I feel like this is a really interesting topic because it helps with anyone at any stage of their lives. Like, if you're currently dating right now, this will be super useful to you. And if you are in a long-term relationship or even married, like, this will equally be very useful to you. So if you're truly interested in this, do not forget to like this video and also subscribe if you have not, and let's get right into this. So dolls, the first thing we have to look at is how we look, like our looks. So this is the visual, how we present ourselves. I know people will prefer it if we do not judge a book by its cover, but the thing is, and the truth is, that men are visual creatures. Like, men really use their eyes to pick what they like. And to be honest, dolls, I really do not blame them, because I know that I'm a really beautiful woman. I know that we are all beautiful women. Like, if I was a man, I'll stare at me too, you know? Like, so looks are literally not everything, but looks really play a big and significant role in your appearance and in you being seductive, because when you look the part, you attract them first. You can't look like raggedy and expect to attract the man of your dreams. That is kind of impossible. Explain to me, like, even you as a person, when you go out to buy things, or to buy, if you're just even buying something as a nice mug or a t-shirt, and you have like two of the same kinds of t-shirts, but one is like crumpled and like not well taken care of, and the other one looks really neatly folded and ironed. Let's be honest, dolls, which one will you pick? You'll definitely go for the one that's neatly ironed and well presented. So that's exactly how we should be, and we should also see ourselves as a really precious brand. I really don't get it when people don't care about like their appearance at all. Like, of course, I don't want someone to like judge me based on how I look and just be like, oh, okay, she looks this way, so we're not gonna hire her or whatever. I feel like that's a different topic, but always put in effort in your appearance, to be honest. Like, I really don't think there's any ugly women. I just feel like they're lazy women. I can't remember who said that, but someone did say that. And I think it's so true, because I've really never seen a woman that's like, oh my god, she's so ugly, because she's not. Like, I know that if she takes time to comb her hair or does her nails or wear a clean or a nicer dress that really fits the shape of her body, she will look really good. You know, like we always see like the Princess Diaries, how they like transformed her. I mean, they really didn't do so much than like change the style of her hair and dress her up in nicer clothing and really pay attention to like what looks good on her, what makeup suits her. And these are things I feel like as women we should really take into consideration and do by ourselves. I don't think I'll really go deep in this point here, because I do have a video that I call the wow effect, and this is how you just tend to find your own wow effect. So I like saying like, I found my wow effect. Like, I learned the colors that look great on me, how to style my hair, you know, nail shapes that just fits my hands more, nail colors that also fit my complexion more, and like dresses, colors, using the right shade of lipstick, the right shade of foundation. Like, all these things go into play, and it's not even as expensive. Like, for your hair, you don't need to go to a professional every single time to achieve that, you know, blowout look. I mean, listen, we have people using like socks to do this. We have, you know, if you can't afford like the you can do like heatless curls by using socks and that like cord things, or like braiding your hair to have that crimp look. There's so many low maintenance, easy ways to really style yourself to look and give you that wow effect. Like I said, you should really check the first video where I really talk about how to really invest in your looks, and you'll learn so much there. So my darling, please do not forget, like, no matter how small it may seem, it's better to be overdressed than underdressed everywhere you go. Like, always look good. It doesn't matter what you're doing, always look good. I've really had men like come up to me just like in the store, like I'm literally in M&S going shopping, but I kind of like did my makeup, but like I'm not just wearing like looking like I just rolled out of bed. I took time, braided my hair, you know, like because I like really girly and cutesy things, so I kind of like put bows in my hair and I looked really cute. And I really have a lot of people like coming up to me, you know, even if it's just, I mean, even like married people who it's not even to like, you know, ask me out or anything, like just to tell me, oh, like you really look good, like I like how you look, you made my day or something, you know, just like the weirdest things. And honestly, like this also helps people, like when you just look so good and you carry yourself well, it kind of like affects not just you and how you feel, but also like the people around you, because this has happened to me so much. I can't even tell how many number of times, and it's literally me just going to Sainsbury's or going to M&S or going to the store, like nothing serious, like I'm not in like in a really bougie restaurant, it's just a simple place. So my doll, ensure that you always look good regardless of where you are. So the next thing is smell. Listen, I can't stress this enough. You guys need to understand what smell does, like when it comes to seduction and seducing a man. Like smell really goes to like the subconscious part of the brain. Like it's not even conscious, they're not even really thinking about it. If you really do this well, you can really make them go absolutely crazy. And I just love doing smells. So I know there are different kinds of people. There are people who like having like a signature scent, and there are people who like are kind of like a fragrance girly who likes different fragrances and likes to try different things, which I love. But I'm more of a signature scent girl because I feel like it just does even more. Like when I go on a date and I use one kind of fragrance, and then the first date is like, oh, you smell good, I'm like, oh, thank you. And then the second date I use the same thing. It's starting to like register in your memory that, oh, this scent goes with this girl, especially if it's like really good and it really fits your body chemistry. Because, you know, we also have to take that into consideration. We can just like be buying anything. We also have to see and spray and see if it smells good with our body chemistry. So especially if it's really you and if it really fits your description. So let me like paint a picture so you guys really understand how the seduction thing goes. So it's like you look a certain way already. They're already attracted to you. They see you. You know, you already pulled them in. So that's the first step, you know. So now you're in the door already. So now it's like, okay, they've asked you out. It's time for a date. And then the smell comes. And then if the smell really matches to who you are as a person, like for me, like I really present my femininity in a really girly and cutesy way. Like I said before, I love really like pink things and pretty things and bows, you know, things like that. So the fragrance I have is really floral, it's really sweet, it's like almost sugary, you know, it's like a bakery, it's like really, really sweet, and it kind of goes with the appearance too. So it's like, oh, she kind of looks so cute, like a doll. And then how do you imagine like how a doll will smell? It's like, oh, okay, I'm thinking of roses, I'm thinking of strawberries, I'm thinking of cherries, I'm thinking of cakes, you know, like just something that really goes with your look. If you're going for the more like femme fatale, you have the red lipstick and the, you know, little black dress and, you know, their high heels, you know, really like sensual and dark feminine energy, then, you know, you can use like a more muskier scent. But everything has to also play, you know, it's like it's a strategy, you know, we're seducing, we're taking them on a journey, we're taking them on a ride. So the perfume also has to like go with the look. You can't like literally look like a doll, like with bows in your hairs. It looks so cute, and then you kind of smell like, I don't know, like kind of like musky. It doesn't really. It's like you might smell nice, of course, but it really won't bring that memory, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to create this memory. We're trying to create this fantasy of like a dream girl, someone that he'll like always remember, like even in bed, driving back home. Another tip I'm gonna tell you, dolls. So I always advise that we date gentlemen who open our doors and is really kind and nice to us. So I always do this after like a date. If I actually like him, if I don't like him, I don't care. But if I actually like him and I see that he has, a potential, when he's standing up after the date to come and open the door, I kind of like just spritz a little of my perfume in the car. So like when I go, because I always have, like this always happens. So after the date, we hug and that's it. I'm back to my house and he's just like, oh my God, like all the way I could smell you driving back home, like you were on my mind, because I've already created that memory of that fragrance with me. So anytime he smells that, it reminds him of me. So like him driving back home is like, oh wow, like I can still feel her presence here. And you guys know that smell is very strong with like memory and like the subconscious mind. Like you really need to find that scent that screams you for this to work. So I hope you dolls are already like thinking, and trying to go out and find your perfect scent. Dolls, the next thing is the voice, and I really cannot emphasize on how integral this is to the subconscious, and this is being really seductive, because the voice is just really insinuating. Like if you know how to work your voice really well, and remember nothing, like you always need practice. All this you need to practice on yourself first and by yourself first before you like go out, and then you might give the wrong impression thinking you're sounding soft, but instead you're like sounding tired and like so we need to really practice on this if it's not something you're really used to. But the voice really plays an important role in seduction and in seducing. You know that there is like a distinctive difference between how a man sounds and how a woman sounds. Men have a very deeper voice and women have a more high-pitched.
Well, Mrs. Miller, do you speak French? Est-ce que vous parlez français?
No, I'm sorry, I don't. My husband does.
Not a word?
Oui.
Oui, oh, that's good. Do you enjoy the ball tonight?
Oh, yes.
Well, you can say oui. That's why I asked the question.
I mean, of course, it's not always that way, but we still know that women sound kind of lighter than men. You even if you're not like listening, you know how a woman is kind of supposed to sound. I mean, I have heard women with a deeper, tone, and I have heard men with a more high-pitched tone. So, it's not always the case, but, this is just like, normally, women sound a certain way and men sound a certain way. So if you can really play that, it will really be amazing, especially when you're on your date. Like, I like doing this, especially, like I said, if I really like them and I really want to seduce them and I really want to like drive them crazy, and you just really soften your voice to where he really cannot hear what you're saying, so he kind of has to like lean forward to listen to you and remember. So you're also doing this and like you smell absolutely amazing, so he's like leaning forward to you, smelling you, looking at you, and this is like you're also looking at him with like a doe eye, like the siren eyes. We know when to use that, but I feel like the doe eye is really potent because it really gives that innocence, and men really like that innocence. So we like especially like really masculine alpha men, which is typically the kind of men I date, because or the kind of men I attract, I'll say, because like I said, I'm really like girly and feminine in my way of being. So I mostly attract like really masculine alpha men. So if these are the kind of men you're also attracted to, I feel like you should also work in this, because their voices are deep. They're a man. They're like pride themselves in being a man and like talking like really deeply, and like you just coming like really soft and just like, oh yeah, like how's your day, and you just explaining your day in a really soft way, and he has to like lean forward to listen to what you have to say. Like all those things are really subconscious. Like he won't even know when he's doing that. Like he's leaning forward, he's smelling you, he's also looking at you, and you're like explaining your day, and like looking at him with a doe eye. He is literally going to go crazy. Like this happens a lot. Like I said, like they do most things subconsciously. So from there, they're just like holding your hand and really looking at you, and then that need to want to like protect and like provide for you, then it starts like seep in, and it starts to come in subconsciously, and they're like, oh, she's really like almost delicate, I kind of want to like protect her and be there for her, because she just presents in this really soft and innocent way. So like, and of course as a man you want to like protect that, you want to like provide for that, you want to especially if he likes you too. So it's kind of that, also mixing that with like emotions. Also like this is what I'm telling you right now. If you just try it, even like I said, even if you're married already, just go out on a date, do something, and just like put all these things in play and just see how that date ends. He'll literally be kissing the ground you walk on after that date. Trust me. Like if you really take it from your looks to your smell to the voice, and just like doing everything and playing on his male subconscious, this is like everything, trust me. So like don't forget that this also takes practice, and this doesn't mean that you have to always talk in a really soft way every single time. I mean, times when you need to like really be direct and like speak and like talk, I mean, you guys might not always be in that honeymoon, I'm crazy about her. There's times when you need to like really be direct and like show concern or whatever. You can like be more assertive in the way you talk. But I'm just saying, like on dates or when you guys like cozy up together, you could really like just soften your voice and just see what that does. And but don't make it like too weird where he thinks like, oh, is she like playing a game? Because if like normally you don't talk, because like we have a range of voices, and how we talk. It's like normally your voice is on this range, and then all of a sudden you're like really soft, for that date, and then after you're talking normally, it's just gonna like, he's not gonna be, it's really gonna confuse him. So he has to be consistent, and he has to be like in the same range. So just like learn, and like I said, practice and see what works for you. And then like I said, consistency is key. Dolls, like all these things I always tell you, if you don't put them to practice, it will never work out, and you just like be absolutely confused and think that this doesn't work. But if it's something you practice every single time, you will see the results. So my dolls, the next and final thing is your mannerisms. This is just like the way you present, the way you carry yourself, the way you eat if you're on a date, the way you're drinking that drink, just like be very flirty, just I don't know, be very girly. Like your hands, the way you like move your hair back, the way you sit down, the way you stand up, the way you move, everything just has to look really effortless and dainty and feminine. I feel like Marilyn Monroe really knew how to do this and how to play this. Like she knew how to move with grace and move with elegance and femininity, and just like even just her walk, we had that, I can't remember the movie, I think it's Niagara Falls, but like the longest walking time in the, I don't know, like she walked for so long on screen, and it was just because of how like seductive and like insinuating the walk was. So if you can really practice how you walk, no one is saying like walk like a model and like be Naomi Campbell, no one is saying that, but like just move slowly. So nothing about being feminine is really slowing down. So like you're slowing down how you move, you're slowing down how you talk, you're slowing down how you eat, so it's like an experience. He's in front of you and he's kind of like experiencing you, and like all this is also like seducing him because he's just like there and it's just like, wow, like is this a dream? Because you're kind of presenting that fantasy. So it's like you look the part, you smell the part, you sound the part, and like you act the part too, and you are, so it's like just like the way you just pick up that cup, the way you like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom, the way you stand up and go to the bathroom, like even just like not even going to the bathroom, like even if he picks you up and you're just like using your mirror and like reapplying your lipstick, you do it in a really like seductive way, or like the way you like adjust your dress or something, just like all those things like kind of really play into that main character energy, and just like feel like, oh, the camera is on you, and everything you do has to like kind of like be suggestive, so every single thing will just, like I said, if this is a first date, after this date, dolls, he'll literally be calling you every single day, just like hear your voice, talk to you, be with you. This has happened to me several times, so I'm sure that you just practice this and by yourself at home too, because you might think, oh, the way you're like smiling is like really cute, but then you don't look cute, so you really have to like practice in the mirror of how you're standing, how you're gonna walk, record yourself, really do these things by yourself, because I'm sure that if you're listening to this too, I feel like when people hear this, they're kind of triggered and they're like, oh, but why would I do all this for a man? It's like, I'm sure for yourself too, like you also want to be your own dream girl. Like at first, yeah, it was like, oh, I want to like attract a certain kind of man, blah blah blah, but then I really started enjoying it and being in my feminine and realizing that I also want to be my own dream girl. Like if I were a man, who would I want to be attracted to? That girl is exactly who I am. So it's like I also want to be this woman for myself, and not just like to attract a man, for me. So even you just walking the streets and just being in your feminine and like walking slow, taking slow, having a slow movement, even how customers respond to you, it's gonna be different. Like trust me, you get like free samples of things, you get like discounts you've never even heard before, just because of how charming and how feminine you present. I feel like as a feminine woman, you kind of, if you're really, really, truly in your feminine energy, you kind of like charm everyone around you. So it's not just like men you're attracting. Even women want to do things for you, women want to help you. Like people also like you, like just, children are attracted to you, babies, animals. So it's not just for, oh, I don't want to stress and do all this for a man. Do it for yourself, do it for your community, like trust me, dolls, like you really enjoy being this person for yourself. I feel like that's something I can't believe that happened, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna be really candid. I really kind of started all this because I wanted to attract better, which is not bad, like don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, oh, it's bad to want to attract a better kind of man, but I'm just saying, like, even doing that, I realized that I also want to do that for myself, so this can be also something you want to do for yourself. And we have come to the end of this episode. Please tell me if you liked it, and please tell me if you want to hear more, because I really do have more seduction techniques that I would love to talk about. Let me know if you will like a part 2. So yes, and do not forget to subscribe if you have not, my dolls. Have a wonderful day, and do not forget to have a feminine touch in everything you do. Mwah!